So, very warm welcome to Greg from the Onewa Christian community. We've worked closely with members of this parish for some time now, so it's really nice to be able to thank you in person. We are sorry we cannot attend in person, just due to the extraordinary times we're in. As an introduction, my name is Jan Rutledge. I'm the General Manager of the Pool House.
I'm Lesley Farmer. I'm one of the staff that's been here for 11 years. I work with a lot of the volunteers that support our work and do a lot of community liaison, letting people know what's happening at the Pool House and what our needs are.
So Lesley is very much one of the public faces of the Pool House, so the church communities in particular, and schools. I think we're very well supported and extremely lucky to have that support from our community. In terms of what the Pool House does, we have traditionally been a transitional housing provider, which used to be talked about as emergency housing. So at the moment we've got 45 properties that we run as transitional housing. So that's providing a safe, warm space for families to live in. We also have a learning centre, an early childhood centre, and food, clothing and furniture banks, which are run very much by volunteers. I might pass on to Lesley to talk a bit about those banks, because this is another one of Lesley's roles, working with volunteers and communities of support such as the Onewa Christian community.
Yeah. I think for me, one of the things that was highlighted over this period of COVID and of lockdown, one that we saw a huge need within our families for food support, much greater than we have in previous years. So that's been a huge need. And the second thing, which is actually really heartwarming, is the response of the community. When we put out messages through Facebook or different media, the community, both individual families, businesses, schools, corporates, responded and said, how can we best help? And sometimes we just get, we're saying, oh my goodness, the food bank's got no protein, there's no corned beef, there's no tinned fish. And then lo and behold, on the doorstep, someone just sends a delivery that they've actually booked online with the supermarket, and it just turns up. So we've had phenomenal response, especially from our local community, of really supporting us in a time of extreme need, really. So we are just so thankful for that. We're thankful. I call it our community of caring that's out there, and your parish is part of that. So again, thank you.
And have been for some time, so yes, extraordinary really. We know how lucky we are, I think, picking up on a point we had with you, Greg, prior to this, that this community has extremes of both wealth and those without, and that actually is how New Zealand is, but that what we do find is people respond when the call's there. We know how lucky we are as a community-based service, and much of that support is from faith-based communities. So we're very ecumenical, and we really applaud the many faiths who donate to us.